This is 007 Agent Under Fire, EA's first stab at a James Bond game on the PlayStation 2. One of my first PS2 games I owned. I think my PS2 came with this and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. And I really enjoyed it at the time. I mean, EA has somehow gotten a bad track record for bad Bond games, but as far as I could tell, they were... I mean, most of them were perfectly acceptable. They had some stinkers that I'm sure we'll get to at some point, like 007 Racing and the abomination of Tomorrow Never Dies. But I think most of the PS2 era ones, outside of GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which was just ill-advised for every single reason, this game was pretty good. Let's take a look at the first mission anyway. We'll get us into it, and then we'll look at the later missions. Jump in. I'm going to double check and see. Yeah, that's what I feared. I feared that the controls would be weird. Looking strafe? There. Move to strafe, look and rotate. Action, alt fire. Could have done this before I started recording, but that didn't seem to be a thing I should do. There we go. First mission.
007. The CIA has come to us for assistance. It appears that one of their agents, a Miss Zoe Nightshade, recently sent out a distress signal. Since you are already on location in Hong Kong, we saw this as an opportunity to help out our American friends. Nightshade was investigating a botanical research firm known as Identicon, headed by a man named Nigel Block. The CIA believes that Identicon is a front for a massive smuggling ring dealing in biological weapons. In Nightshade's last report, she informed us that Identicon was taking considerable measures to transport and to protect vials of some unknown substance. Nightshade was to obtain one of their courier cases and have its contents analyzed, but her mission was compromised. You need to retrieve that courier case, 007, and rescue Miss Nightshade.
Now pay attention. I provided you with a high-tension grapple line I call the Q-Claw. Use this device to latch onto special perforated surfaces in order to pull yourself up to ledges and platforms. You'll also carry the Q-Laser, which emits a powerful beam of coherent light capable of slicing through metal alloys commonly used in locks.
There we go. You get a briefing like that. You get a control set up. So let's jump into the game. So yeah, like I said, this is one of the first PS2 games that I owned, and going back to it now, it's weird because the frame rate's really good. You know, the controls are fairly old school. This is before they'd really. I mean, Halo. Is this before Halo? If it wasn't, it was right around the same time. So the control scheme is a little bit odd. It's going to take me a little while to get you back used to it. Let's give it a go.
007. A CIA agent is being held in this research facility. She was caught while retrieving a case containing suspicious research materials. Find the case and see to her safety.
Obviously, this is the Pierce Brosnan era.
Here. There appear to be two ways into the building. You could use your Q-Claw on that pipe vent to sneak in through the ventilation system, or your Q-Decryptor could open that digital lock.
Well, I know what I would have done when I was a kid, which was go through the front door because I was too lazy. But let's use the Q-Claw. So now I'm going to remember what the buttons are. And it's not going to tell me. Excellent. I think... Is it? No, no. Square? No, that's... No. There. Yeah, that's crouch. Yep. That's... Nope. That's going to be... Circle. There we go. So you get a little grapple hook up. Also, you get that awesome sound effect when you do something cool, which is always entertaining.
Bond, M here. I'll try to keep in contact with you.
Right. So obviously you could shoot the guy, but that would give you a position away, I think. What you can do. Come in. Right shot! So, yes. Can I use the key card on this? No, I have to use the decryptor. There it is. Oh, jeez. Which looks surprisingly like a Motorola phone from about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. If you want to be mindful of the camera, I'll give the game away a bit. Now. Aha! So this is where I can use the keycard. I can find... to get into the armory. I mean, if you're going to keep an armory anywhere, I'd keep it right near the front door. Oh jeez, they're giving me grenades and rocket launchers this early on. Oh, listen to that synth! Is this game based in the 80s? Cool. I could set the alarm off if I wanted to, but I don't want to. As you see, the environments are pretty detailed. I mean, this is 2001 we're talking about, so it's really early on. I have to figure out what the action button is one day. Yeah, really early on. So, I think this game looked the part at the time. Uh-oh. Yeah, I probably don't want to shoot him with the regular gun. I can't remember what the jump button is. Triangle. So the thing about these pickups that I'm getting are that at the end of each level you get a point score, which is maybe the weirdest part of this game because I don't, other than making you replay the missions, I don't really know what you get out of doing that.
Bond, your Q
So I
laser
can use the Q
could cut
laser.
through that.
Yes.
Careful, 007. They may know you're inside.
What you mean by the fact I was just shooting that guy? There's some cool stuff here. So you can do some environmental damage. You can shoot. Get the
fireworks.
There you go. Fireworks. Yeah. There you go. Pierce Brosnan isn't a very good shot, it turns out. KS7. Rightly. Shoot that down. On top of that guy. You can tell how many times I've done this level just by the fact that I remember all of this stuff. That body armor seems important.
It went this way.
Apart from that, I've got full health. So smart stuff like that, where you can actually avoid encounters by essentially hiding behind that brick, or that box. Sorry. This was stuff that at the time I thought was quite neat. It's not revolutionary, game-changing stuff, but it's things that make the game feel a little bit more alive.
Kill the light.
Yeah, and we've gone to dark lighting mode, so the frame rate's gone terrible. Techno music. There's a lot of auto aim, as you can see. That the little crosshair will move left and right when you're close. Which is good because I think this game without auto aim. Actually, I mean that's pretty much what World Is Not Enough was, which was a late era PS1 game.
I've located the vials Nightshade was looking for.
Based on the '99 movie, and that was very much this. It's kind of a first-person shooter, but it didn't have. If I remember rightly, it didn't have that auto aim. I don't know, maybe I have to go back and see if it did. But I was kind of grateful that they weren't basing their games on the movies anymore,
Being held somewhere on the lower levels.
because the movies, I think, it's something that we'll probably come across time and time again with these sorts of games. But I feel like when they based their games directly on the movies, especially when they had the time limit of the movie coming out, I feel like they really hurt themselves because they don't have the time and the budget to, or even the concrete story. Because sometimes in those sort of those sort of projects,
Go to hell.
the story of the movie might change, or they might cut out a 20-minute segment that the game is already based on. So you find in these sorts of games like, oh, there's a level here that if you watch the deleted scenes on the DVD, you can see, oh, okay, there was a 4-minute scene there that they based the level on, but that got cut out of the movie by the time they got to putting the game out. So when they did stuff like Agent Under Fire, and I mean they followed this up with Nightfire, which apparently was just as good. I never got around to playing that.
5 minutes.
It was certainly better than The World Is Not Enough and Tomorrow Never Dies, which were both. I mean, one of them was certainly better than the other, but I didn't like Tomorrow Never Dies. The World Is Not Enough was okay at the time. There's a good variety of weapons. There's,
Bond is here.
apart from I very clearly shot him. There's no recoil on this gun either.
You've got to get on that submarine.
I always get weirded out when you see games like Bond where they've got shotguns, because there's not a lot of Bond with shotgun, is there? It tends to be, you know, his trademark pistol or some sort of submachine gun or a assault rifle. Shotgun just seems a bit brutal.
Submarine to launch in 4.
It's quite fast moving. It certainly feels more like a modern first-person shooter than some of the PlayStation 1 attempts. Controls feel tighter.
Hurry!
Right, get the Q laser out. Nope.
Thank you.
I don't know how to thank you.
I'm sure we'll think of something.
Gross. Oh, James Bond, will you never learn? And then you get mission results, and it shows you, you know, I think the Bond moves are essentially when it does the little Bennett sort of music. If you did a clever thing. So that's that. Let's take a look at some of the later levels. Let's pick up Streets of Bucharest. I think this is one of the driving sequences.
Dr. Damascu informed us that Poseidon is a secret laboratory where Malprobe develops her clone replicants. However, Poseidon's location...
Replicants?
That information was on the data chip stolen by Malprobe's henchmen. Dr. Damascu installed a microbeacon on the data chip, but it requires a special locator to read its signal. R has delivered a suitable tracking device to the local train station for your immediate retrieval. Our satellite reconnaissance indicates the helicopter pilot jettisoned the chip somewhere in the city before his damaged craft was destroyed. Malprobe's men will undoubtedly be looking for it, so you must recover it as quickly as possible. Once you have the chip, you'll need to deliver it to R's field office on the other side of the river. From it, he should be able to discern the location of...
Oh, of course, because this must have been... Yeah, because this was the era when they were trying to transition from Q to using... John Cleese's R, which lasted for about one film, or two films. And then, funnily enough, when they brought Bond back with Daniel Craig, R was he was missing for some reason. Ooh, some actual CG. Interesting.
007. The data chip has been ejected from the damaged helicopter. Retrieve the Q locator and find that chip.
This is the part of the game where Bond destroys an entire cityscape. It's ever since... I think it was EA, because this never happened. I mean, GoldenEye had that tank mission, I guess, but there's always been this temptation to have driving segments and shooting segments in separate levels. And I've always found the driving segments in Bond games to be disappointing. I think the only game that did it really well was 007 Bloodstone, which was a Bizarre Creations game. It's one of the last things they did, where they effectively... I mean, it's kind of an unfair comparison, because at some point they were a racing game developer. They made the Project Gotham Racing series, and actually the shooting in that game suffered. So, whereas the shooting in this game is sufficient, the driving is a little bit ropey. It's the other way around in most of the 007 Bloodstone. I just don't find this as compelling, because this is car combat. which, yeah, we all had decided by this point was done. We've got the wrong way round. Yeah. Ah, there it is. Well, this game sure loves loud explosions.
Well done, 007. Now go find that ship. You have little time before Malbro's men get to it.
I hope I can get a little suit body armor for my car, because my car is looking pretty rough. Yeah, the other advantage with Agent Under Fire is that they could tell the story they want to and essentially make the levels they want to. They don't have to feel like they have to put in a driving segment because the movie had one. Oh, I can't really fight because I haven't got any rockets left.
It's imperative you get that device to me for decoding as soon as possible, 007.
Yeah, I'm on it. Frame rate.
You'll have to get across the river, 007. I've left you something that should give you a boost.
Would that be the Q booster? Oh, how do you use this? Triangle, it'll be.
007. I provided that booster for a reason.
Yeah? I
007.
just...
The data chip has been ejected from the damaged helicopter. Retrieve the Q
Great.
data.
Alright.
Find that ship.
Let's go again. What am I doing this time? The guy blindly... It's just a... Almost looks like he's growing wheels. The other thing with these things is that they give you these weapons like missiles and then they give you very limited ammo to use with them, so you just end up using the machine gun, which is no fun whatsoever. This car's not good at cornering. I'm guessing this is supposed to be an Aston Martin, but it doesn't corner very well.
The flashing beacon on your GPS map indicates the position of the locator, 007. Now don't dawdle, we have precious little time.
Well done, 007. Now go find that ship. You have little
I'm on it.
time before
I
Malbro's
know exactly where it
men
is. It's in that weird little side street. There's not a time limit in this game. At the very least, this isn't dull. It's the thing that, you know, keeps me going throughout these kind of driving segments. There's plenty of explosions going on. I think I'm most curious with the night. I don't know the name of it. I just said it. It's the sequel to this. Nightfall. I wonder if they actually kept these driving segments in, or if they took them out. Or if they have more driving segments. Always possible.
It's imperative you get that device to me for decoding as soon as possible, 007.
I should probably figure out what that boost button is supposed to do. Whoa. Ah! R2 to change. Wish I'd figured that out earlier. That's embarrassing.
I've left you something that should give you a boost.
There we go. How many of those are going to break? There you go. As if to say, this is an early PlayStation 2 game, we haven't got the power to render the inside of that building. I think that's the end of that mission.
You'll have to rendezvous with R007. Our satellite indicates that Malpre's men are swarming out there. Exercise extreme caution.
I found just the thing.
Oh no, it's a tank bit. I'd completely forgotten about. I don't know who's driving the tank. I don't really knew this about Pierce Brosnan, but he's actually got 4 arms, and he can drive a tank and operate a chain gun and a cannon at the same time. Yeah, took that helicopter. So again, these sections would be less painful if you didn't have ammo limitations. Ow, I don't remember the frame rate being this bad. That's both those trucks deal with. Fast, that's quite handy. L2, it does a kind of flip. No. What am I smashing through? A hotel.
Equipping those Q-Vision goggles should give you an advantage in the dark, 007.
You're right. I can see that guy on the roof. Helicopter. Get out of it. Oh, this cannon's so slow. Doesn't help that you're moving independently of the tank, because the tank's driving itself. So you have no control over where the cannon is pointing.
.007. The battery pack for those goggles is about to expire.
There's no way that I could turn them off. Let's seriously not hit that helicopter with the 4 cannon shots that I just threw at it. Another bridge! Fantastic. There is checkpoints. Okay. How long ago was this checkpoint? Is this series at the start of the tank section? Yeah, it is. Alright, let's I guess you have lives as well. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, see, a lot of things that we've completely eradicated from first-person shooters now, like having lives, are still kind of holdovers from this being early in the PS2's life cycle. Alright, let's have a look at this one last mission. Which I remember being a pain when I was trying to play it as a youngster. And I wonder if 15 years worth of gaming has made me any better.
An oil drilling platform in the South China Sea.
I'm going to hazard a guess and say no.
Might shed light on Poseidon, Malprave's cloning facility. If you discover the lab, you must destroy it completely.
Oh yeah, it's got silence this time, that's good. So you effectively don't want to raise the alarm on this mission, because it would be a bad time for you. That sounds bad. Yeah, no, you get off that alarm. You stop just standing there doing nothing. I might have got away with that. Oh no.
But first, let me show you around.
And he's a Bond villain, so he says stupid shit like that. I think you can use the key. There you go. The problem with this game is I sort of remember it. Not enough to be useful at it, but they start throwing a lot more enemies at you as well. And the stealth kind of wanders off. Good clips there. Which again was an exciting gun name because, you know, in the UK we have, maybe elsewhere, I've certainly seen them in Europe, we have ice lollies called Calippos, which are pretty awesome. I think at the time I was hoping that the Calypso would just fire Calypsos. That'd be pretty good. Something about the auto aim's not brilliant. How giant this vent is! What kind of rats are they expecting? Just gonna leave you back out to the... yeah, it is. Bow!
Mr. Bond.
He's not even opening his mouth to laugh that time. Oh. Objective complete, so it's completely locked up the game. There we go. I think I managed to just avoid that firefight by accidentally falling on that that platform, which is nice. Now this is a room that I believe I used to struggle with. Yeah, the pump room. Yes. So you've got an ability called Q-Jet, which is effectively a like a jetpack. So it's an absolute nightmare to use. This room's also a nightmare because it's full of explosive barrels. Ah, have that. And that. He had a bandolier on. I was expecting to have to shoot him a lot. Press the button there. Press the button. That starts up the... yes. So if I recall, you have to jump onto one of those and then go up
is through that gap.
Through the gap. Which was great fun. I should probably stop trying to shoot people from so far away. I'm wasting ammo. I can't remember if there's fall damage in this game. I guess we'll find out now. The thing is, the auto aim doesn't really point at anybody's head. It just defaults to their chest, and it's quite difficult to get it to recalibrate. Right, so it's the... yeah, so I missed the jump. Let's go find a refill. That'll do nicely. Just firing grenades at me. That's gonna be an easy one to get onto. Oh. And it becomes a complete mess. Excellent. Oh, these manual aim modes are always terrible. Do I have to go up here? Ah, yes. And then ride the cable hook across. There's a lot of body armor up here, which suggests there's going to be a big gunfight. also the frame rate's gone to shit, so that also suggests a giant gunfight. Oh. Again, I don't know how much this is picking up on the video, but my god. If the frame rate would like to catch up at any point, I'd appreciate it. It's disappointing when you play the first levels. Oh, it's like 60 frames a second, or you know, it's high frame rate. Away from those. Get that rocket launcher. Oh, stay away from those barrels. It just disappeared. It's this magical disappearing helicopter. Oh, I've got the golden gun all of a sudden. Oh, he's back to his muhas. Blammo! Oh no! I don't know why there's platforming in this level. Oh, there's a Q claw there, I could have used that instead. But the jet's more fun. The added benefit of not knowing whether you're actually going to make the platform or not. It's exciting. Oh, I need that laser. Nope. The weapon and object selection is a little clumsy, I will say that.
Nice form.
Surprise! Is that it? Or is that the end of part 1? That's it! Wow! There you go. Take that, younger me. That was easy. I think I probably am playing this on easy. That's Agent Under Fire. It hasn't aged particularly well, I will say that. But I think it's an interesting game, and I think EA's reputation of being a bad Bond game maker is a little bit unfair. I think they made some pretty good games during their tenure. And actually, if you look at what Activision put out, stuff like Quantum of Solace and Bloodstone and the latest like 007 Legends and the GoldenEye reboot were just not good enough. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it's never going to be as good as GoldenEye, but that GoldenEye's GoldenEye. It already came out, so you can't remake that. Until next time, and until I find a copy of the sequel, that's it.